The hideous crime of rape. Beauty provokes men. The law says, but it's looked through men's eyes when deciding what provokes it. Naomi Wolf.
Table of Contents. Section 1. Definition of rape. Section 2. Punishment. Section 3. Rape in marriage. And Section 4. Actual serious of rape. Group members Iffah Taqiah binti Roslan and Nur Najihah binti Mustapa Kamal.
Definition of rape. This definition of rape can be referred under Section 375 of the Penal Code. Section 375 of the Penal Code stated that a man is said to commit rape who, except in the case herein after accepted, has sexual intercourse with a woman under circumstances falling under any of the following description: against her will, without her consent, with her consent, when her consent has been obtained, by putting her in fear of death, or hurt to herself or any other person, or obtained under a misconception of fact, and the man know or has reason to believe that the consent was given in consequence of such misconception. Continue from the previous slide. With consent, but she believed that the man is her husband. With consent, but she is unable to understand the nature and consequences of her concept. With consent, but it was obtained using his position or authority or because professional relationships. With or without consent, if she below 16. Punishment for the criminal of rape. Subject to subsections 2, 3, and 4, whoever commits rape shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 20 years and shall also be liable to whipping. There are some enhanced punishment for rape that has been provided under Section 376. Section 376 Clause 2 provided that whoever commits rape on a woman under any of the following circumstances will be punished with imprisonment for a term of not less than 10 years and not more than 30 years and shall also be liable to whipping. Then, Section 376 Clause 3 stated that whoever commits rape on a woman whose relationship to him is such that he is not permitted under the law, religion, custom or usage to marry her shall be punished with imprisonment for a term of not less than 8 years and not more than 30 years and also be punished with whipping of not less than 10 strokes. There is also some enhanced punishment that had been listed under Section 376 Clause 4, whereas the section stated that whoever whilst committing or attempting to commit rape causes to death of the woman on whom the rape is committed or attempted shall be punished with death or imprisonment for a term of not less than 15 years and not more than 30 years and also be punished with whipping of not less than 10 strokes, and he also will be liable for death penalty. Frederick Beckman Bertown has stated that she is 15, above the age of consent, and he is 17, but he is still the boy in every conversation. She is the young woman. Words are not small things.
Then, rape in marriage. It is not a rape for a man to have sexual intercourse with a woman who is his wife by marriage, which is valid for the time being in force. There is an exception under Section 375 that states sexual intercourse by a man with his own wife by a marriage is valid under any written law for the time being in force, or is recognized in the Federation as valid, is not a rape. In conclusion, there is no rape in marriage. However, if the husband causing hurt in order to have sexual intercourse, Section 375 Clause A states that any man who during the subsistence of a valid marriage causes hurt or fear of death or hurt to his wife or any other person in order to have sexual intercourse with his wife shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 5 years. Next, we have accessories of rape. There are 4 accessories of rape. Firstly, unlawful intercourse. Second, intercourse without a consent, or intercourse with a consent if a consent is not voluntarily given or given under a mistake, and honest belief that the woman consented even though it is not reasonable. It can be considered as a valid consent. Then we have an example of a case. In the case of DPP vs. Morgan, the husband invited a few friends to have intercourse with his wife and assured them that the wife would give her consent. The wife was sleeping when the incident happened. She resisted but helpless. The court held that if the accused person believes that the woman is consented, they cannot be found guilty of rape. Thus, the accused were not guilty of rape.